Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard 101 video. Today, we're going over the KI Live from April 29th, 2021. That was yesterday. As always, I'm getting this off of the Avonplex Twitter. Avonplex, if you didn't know, not only makes these outlines, but he also does data leaks, finds different things that are in the game's files. Really cool person. Go follow them on Twitter. They'll be in the description below if you want to see some game spoilers and whatnot. But yeah, I've done the last three that he's released. I'm going to be doing this one as well. Basically going over what was said in the KI Live and what we know is coming in future updates, because I find that to be interesting. So let's get right into it. Summer update will continue more of the audit, socialization, and few quests. So basically, we're going to be getting more spells changed. I really hope that they decide to keep some good changes. I'd say last change was a bit of a mixed bag. The change before that was a really good. 1 second. Sorry, had to yawn. The first change was good. Second change was a mixed bag. Hopefully this one is as good as the first one. Socialization is a system I do like so far. Hopefully it makes questing with other people more common and helping people more common as well. The Lemuria quest, I'm assuming it'll just be a few more teaser quests, which are pretty cool. They're taking a small subset of the team to make a very small Pirate 101 update. Launch is to be determined, and they're focusing on fixing as many bugs as possible. They're also working on potential for more than bug fixes. Don't expect a giant update, they're doing as much as they can. Larger updates will require them to hire a team, and they're still working on a plan for that. Falmea will continue to talk about Pirate 101 every month, even if she has nothing else to say, just so the community knows they're actually discussing it. So what I want to say about this is I feel like a lot of people are disappointed that Pirate 101 hasn't got an update yet, and I look at you and I'm like, did you expect it right away? The fact that Gamigo is planning on reviving Pirate isn't going to happen immediately. Even if they did have a team and did make an update, realistically we're still not going to get a minor update until the summer, and we're not going to get something major like a new world until November anyway, because that's when they release their worlds. So even if you expected a new world prior to November, you don't know how King's Isle releases their worlds. You're just completely incorrect. They're not going to release one until November at the earliest. But even then, I don't think that if they release a new world, I don't think it's going to be this year. I think it's going to be the year after. I think likely this summer, potentially, we'll see that small bug fix update. And then after that, I could potentially see maybe new packs being made. And once they start hiring a team, that's when you'll start getting updates, larger updates that mean more. With the 64-bit update, they're seeing 50% fewer crashes since the update. It will also allow them to upgrade very old internal tools. This is good. As I said in the past, the 64-bit update's really good because it makes it so that they have more that they're able to update in the game. Also, the fact that I have noticed I don't crash on Triton Avenue sometimes now. So that's good. I do appreciate that. I like it. They like to take another look at releasing the game's soundtrack on a service like Spotify. That is sick, because I can't even tell you the amount of times that I've used the game's soundtrack in the background, and I've wanted it on something like Spotify, where I can just, make it so that I can quickly surf through the songs and whatnot. The only thing that I've had is a YouTube playlist on all the songs, but the problem with that is it's very difficult to navigate, because sometimes Google gets very laggy. So this good change. Like it, please do King's Isle. Friendly Players is the first of many socialization features to extend the game's lifespan as much as possible. I'd assume that they're going to add different things, different types of players that'll do different types of things, and I do like that idea. Hopefully it works out. Decius would say that he'd like to port the Skytrain Gauntlet to Pirate 101 at some point, so that's something excited if for all you Pirate 101 players. Potentially new Gauntlet coming at some point in the future. Wizard 101 wasn't originally designed to handle the linear stat growth, so the stat limits give them more room to grow on a curve. This adds longevity to the game. Now, I think the problem is that they're failing to see here is the fact that nerfing players will make people angry and leave the game. I don't think they thought about that. The limit should be a bit higher, in my opinion. I think that the limit should be 250 right now and start at about 180. or 230 and start at about 180. So the players that like 200 damage would now have about 190. I think that would be much more fair than the 150 stat curve, because everyone can get up to 150 right now. And I think that's the problem, is they made Dragoon gear too powerful. They're trying to go about fixing that, but they shouldn't have made it so powerful to begin with, because now players are getting angry when they're nerfing their stats, when they shouldn't even have those stats to begin with. Moving on. They're planning on revamping how they display critical and block visuals. That's good, because sometimes enemies don't even show that they block. They just block the crit. That's annoying. Yeah. They're still working on Monster Mash spell elements. It isn't ready yet. That won't be released likely until Halloween anyway. So I'm sure that'll be released at some point. The Bountiful Mine will give more new reagents to drop. Okay. I do have the Bountiful Mine, so maybe I'll use it more often. I don't know. They may continue with the theme of Beast Moon monsters with new craftable gear if people like it. I don't particularly care about Beast Moon. I don't know how many people do. I don't think a lot of people do, but hopefully maybe they'll breathe some new life into it at some point. They're still working on adding the extended color palette for clothing. Some missing insignia gear will be added. This is good. Some insignia gear just did not exist in the game as it is, and that was annoying to a lot of people who wanted it on certain schools. This should be good for the future. Also, the fact the extended color palette, I really like that personally. I like having different shades of clothing. Also, the fact that, you know, there's been times where I've wanted pink clothing on male character and I can't, and I'm sad about it, you know? Like, why? That sucks. So, you know, maybe in the future, hopefully in the future, it will be added. They're exploring the idea of uncapping FPS and other graphical things. So this won't mean much to you guys, most likely. People with worse computers probably won't see much change. But for someone like me, who's recording all the time and, you know, will potentially could use this FPS boost, I do appreciate it. Hopefully they make it so that you can hopefully in the menu they make it so that you can purposefully limit it rather than keeping it unlimited. It would be good if you could limit it to 60, because that's what I use for my videos for YouTube. That would be really useful for me, and I hope that they do add that. DCS says to expect a class project where the community has to unlock parts of it. Okay, cool. Community event. Pog. DCS has put making one-shot Battle of the Bands Gauntlets droppable on his list, so you could potentially see that in the future. Thelmea says the guild system would have to be pretty far at the end. I'm assuming they mean at the end of the game, not the end of like Wizard 101's lifespan. I would say so as well. I'd say maybe after Chrysalis, it could be a good idea. I don't see a big thing for it. The only thing I could see happening that I dislike is toxic and toxicity, because I feel like guilds and games tend to get kind of toxic sometimes. Like, people will gather together with other toxic players and then, you know, bully some people. And I dislike that immensely. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully they make it so that you can, like, you know, that a guild would be disbanded if something like that happened. They have a plan for name changing, but they still need to work on it, although they want to tackle it as soon as possible. Hopefully that comes out sometime like summer update. In about August, if not fall update in about September to October. That would be really nice. I really would like that. I think I would like to change my character's name, but at the same time, I don't know, Blaze Dawnbreeze is kind of iconic, so, you know, name update probably coming soon. There is more FTUE. I don't actually know what that means coming up, and they'll talk about it later. If someone could leave in the comments what that means, I will respond with my opinion on it. I don't know what that means, so I can't put my opinion on it. In response to a question about the scrapped cargo system in Pirate 101, Ratbeard says he wonders if he still has his old design docs, and Decius says he'd love to finish that system. So, potentially, Pirate 101 could get the cargo system that people have talked about and have enjoyed or wanted. So, look forward to that in the future, Pirate 101 players. You could potentially get that. They've considered revamping Krakatopia, but it took so long to do Wizard City that they're taking a break and want to finish up the rest of Wizard City before considering another world. I find this weird because I don't think Wizard City has any more revamps left, does it? I think every single area has been revamped. So, I don't know what they have to finish, but I don't know. I would like a Krakatopia revamp. I feel like it needs it more than other worlds. On top of that, Dragonspire, I feel like Dragonspire really needs one, so hopefully we'll see that. DCs will look into adding support for colorblind players. He thinks a symbol will be best, and he writes up a design and submits it. Hopefully that'll be nice for colorblind players. You know, that'd be nice. I play with colorblind mode on in games like Valorant. I'm not colorblind, but you know, I play with it on, so that'd be nice. They usually release worlds in fall. They're just trying to tease earlier than usual, and that's the last thing on the list. I figured that usually, as I said in the past, they release worlds in November. That's their typical month to release worlds, September to November. That's what they do. If you're expecting a world sooner than that, in either Wizard 101 or Pirate 101, you are not going to get it. So don't be disappointed on that fact. But that's all I wanted to say. This is the KI Live rundown. Some important things to note looking at this. Name change. New critical and block visuals could be good. Color palette for clothing. And yeah, that's basically it. For me, things like Spotify and FPS, but for average players, that probably wouldn't be as important. But that's all for today. If you enjoyed, if you liked, drop a like at the sub button, maybe even drop a channel membership. Leave in the comments below what your opinions on these are, what you think they need to add, stuff like that. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.